Virgo, how you doing? Welcome to your monthly Astroflower reading for October. Sorry it's been a bit late. Yes, I've had sort of the flu or COVID and stuff like that. So yes, this is your monthly reading coming out. We have a competition that's running this week on all Earth signs. You'll get an explanation about that just before we do the clarification with the Light Seers cards. But yes, I hope you're all doing very well. Hope you're having a lovely time. I think we're going to call it sort of like a emotional October, something along those sort of lines. Because there's been a lot of emotions in the readings for October already, and it's depends on the start. It depends on the sign. It depends on the sign. So let's just see what's going on for you, shall we? Overall energy here. You get the Nine of Pentacles. Yep. You're heading off into you're fully on into your winter period now, so that means basically planting seeds, getting everything ready, getting everything in place in order for you to do what you need to do. And the overall energy is bringing, if you're engaged in your life, the overall energy is going to start bringing in some opportunities, some successes, multitudes of successes, a lot of them not necessarily massive successes, but a lot of little successes in order to get you on your pathway, to get you going off and heading in the right direction, as it were. Yeah, so it's also tied into sort of communication, and it's communicating with everything that is around you. So I don't think you're just winning on one front. I think you're winning on a multitude of fronts, basically, Virgo. What's your karmic message on your relationship side? The Nine of Cups. This is, so we've got two nines here. Now 9 is the pinnacle number, basically. So 1 times 9 is 9, 2 times 9 is 18. 18 is 1 plus 8 equals 9. 27 is 2 plus 7 equals 9. It's always 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. That's what it is with the number 9. And it's the linchpin in the mathematical sort of system, as it were, within the 3, 6, 9. If you don't know anything about sort of Rodin Taurus mathematics, Torah mathematics, you should have a look at it. Vortex mathematics, very interesting. It's all to do with Nikola Tesla. Absolutely amazing man. So yeah, you have the 9 here, and this is like it's the cresting before success, basically. And on your karmic mission here is to explore all those possibilities that are around you, all those connections with different relationships that are around you. The moment you start doing that, that's when you're going to start connecting with the people that really concern with you in your life. And I think this is very sociable. I think there's a lot attached to it. It's not just about one-to-one love here. It's about general life, I think, for you more than anything else. And it's a way of sort of connecting with people in a very joyous way. It could be a lot of socializing for you. In the first week, so this is what we got. We got week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, basically. In the first week, there is some planning towards this. It's organisation, and there could well be travel involved in this as well, in this first week. But I think it's more of a case of organising your life and organising your lifestyle of doing things. Getting routines into place. That's what I'm getting. Getting routines into place where you can explore that 9 of Cups in a very beautiful way. And it does need planning. And this week here is recognising that planning that needs to be made. Making sure that you have the time in order to do one thing or do the other. Could be a case of just going to the gym, or it could be a case of, I don't know, going to play bowls or bowling, on a regular basis, meeting up with people. It's going to take planning, it's going to take organisation, and I think this is where, in this first week here, I think it's recognising the possibilities that are around you, being able to lift your head up and see those possibilities, those beautiful gifts, because which one are you going to choose? That's the thing. There's so many that's available for you. Let's see what's going on in the second week in regards to the relationships. Communication. If you start putting a bit of order into your life here, with that one there, if you start putting a bit of order into your life, that's when people are going to start opening up to you. And I think it's not just people, it's also life itself. I think it's communicating what makes you feel good. And when it's communicating to you, there's little things that come into your life. There's little things that come into your life that provoke those happy moments. And recognizing it around you is recognizing basically those beautiful gifts that are around you. And I think this is where you are communicating with someone else, but you're also communicating with life itself to provide you with happiness. Because happiness is a longer term thing. It's accumulation of a series of joys which then installs happiness within your life that can be repeated, and that's what the planning's all about. So I think there's maybe someone's coming towards you in this second week because you've done this planning, because you've set yourself up in order to enjoy life. That's where possibly people could be coming into your life and communicating with you in a really good way. That was the Five of Pentacles coming out. It just dropped out. I haven't moved on to the next one, so I don't tend to drop out. I don't tend to take dropouts until I'm on to it. So yeah, so communication is key. I think it goes both ways. It's good for you to communicate as much as good for you to receive the communication with other people. Okay, in the third week, what's happening for you in the third week? Let's just see what's going on there. Knight of Wands. This is where it really kicks into the social aspect of life. Your enthusiasm for life, Virgo, is boundless. And as you go down your pathway and you start following the joys, or start following where you connect to the ultimate gifts that have been given to you around you, once you start connecting to those sort of things, that's when you can really start making great strides forwards. You've started communicating with people that are around you, explaining your programming, explaining what you're doing, and as that does, that opens that opportunity with a lot of gifts and a lot of communications. And now you're moving into actually acting upon this, socially engaging with the world around you within those plans that you've made. And this activation is going to shore up your pathway, make it a lot more secure, a lot more joyous, a lot more rhythmical within your life. And that's what the joy is going to bring in for you in this coming week. I got a funny feeling though that you could also be, and this may not be for everybody, but there is a certain degree of it's like you're coming to the rescue to a group of people. You're like injecting this fun or injecting this enthusiasm into this group of people, which is like a knight in shining armour, basically. Like a knight in shining armour. So let's just have a look what's going on in the fourth week for you. Tower. This is what I said, it's emotional month of October. And there is something coming up. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned, which I should have mentioned really, basically, in this week here with the Eight of Wands, there is the solar eclipse. And the solar eclipse goes from the root chakra of the globe to the sacrum. So it's all about your fundamental desires. And I think this is where you need to express your fundamental desires within your relationships in this week. The moment you do, that's when you can really start heading off down your pathway. You've planned that. You've understood that within you. You need to know, you've learned how to put this all into place, basically, in the first week. And in the fourth week, we have another eclipse. We have the lunar eclipse. Now, the lunar eclipse goes from the crown chakra to the heart chakra. So this brings thought into our emotions, into our relationships that are around us. And I think there seems to be something that's flowing through the human psyche in general that is creating a situation where systems fall to the ground, communication falls to the ground, structures fall to the ground, and as these things do sort of fall, it makes a lot of space for new things to take its place. And this tower moment that's coming into your life here at the moment, I think comes from the outside rather than from within you. We'll see that with the Light Seers card, but I've got a funny feeling it's from that more than anything else, rather than from within you. Okay? Let's just see what's going on in your financial sort of side. Your Nine of Wands. You've now got 3 nines. We don't want the Nine of Swords, that's for sure. But look at that. You've got all the nines in the back, practically. Now, on your financial side, you've got the Nine of Wands. Procrastination can sometimes be your enemy, Virgo. And it's procrastination out of perfection. You want things to be perfect, which is really good, but perfection doesn't really exist. And sometimes it's difficult for you, Virgo, to get your projects over the line. Because everything really needs to be perfectly in its place. And sometimes you just need to put one foot in front of the other and start doing. Once you start doing, then therefore you can put things into place so it's perfect. And I think once you start following that pathway, that person there, once you start taking that one there, that passion within your life, because it looks like you're doing it, and you're taking that one there on the on your relationship side, and it's certainly building up a lot of sort of like passions within you. In your financial self, the moment you start following that pathway, that's when you'll realize that there's healthy boundaries around you that you don't even need to set up. So basically, if you're, say, like creating a business, once you start creating the business, then you'll realize when you get deviated from your path, and that will be one of those healthy boundaries to sort of kind of say, hey, Virgo, stop messing around with that. I haven't got time for that. Should be doing this, getting on with that. And sometimes you just really want to help so many people that you forget about your path. And I think this month here, do not forget about your path. Concentrate on you. I wouldn't be surprised if the Six of Pentacles doesn't turn up here somewhere along the lines. In the first week, what have you got? You got the Ten of Pentacles. You have ultimate play to your strengths. You have strengths in abundance here. You have everything in abundance. You have the energy, you have the physical energy, you have the emotions, you have maybe the resources financially. Whatever it is that you need in order to do your pathway, it's recognizing it in this week. Observing and understanding the abundances that you do have within you, but also outside or around you, in order to get to completion of what you're trying to do. And that is, it's almost in the first week is sort of saying, we've got everything, come on then, let's do it. Okay, let's just see what's going on in the second week. Now this is that eclipse, that solar eclipse week that I was talking about. Walking away from something. I think this is walking away from your procrastination. Or walking away from the idea of trying to do it absolutely perfect before it's engaged. because sometimes you might just miss the boat. And I think this is where your curiosity comes into play. You've now got 2 8s on this side, on this week here. You know, they're not. Luckily, it's not the 8 of Swords, which gives that sensation of feeling stuck. It's now time to head off on your journey. It's now time to do exactly what I was saying with the 9 of Wands. It's time to take that one wand, take that passion, and start going for it. Basically, let's see what happens in the third week, of October. In the third week, you get the King of Cups. I think the moment you start doing it, I think you're going to feel at one and at ease with what you're doing, where you're going, and the progression that you get within your life. It leads you on to plain sailing. It leads you on to assurance, confidence, emotional stability, all those sort of things in the third week here. And I think this ties in a little bit with your relationship side, where you really start getting passionate about your relationship side. It allows your financial side to find an even keel, a sure footing within your life that you can build upon going forward. But you've got to start this journey. You've got to start it. You've got to start this journey, basically. What's the overall outcome? It is lovely. And I think this passion here, passion also plays into the success that you are gradually creating for you in your financial world. Will have ramifications upon your relationship side. And this is out with the old and in with the new. I think this is the time to really, this is where you sort of like, you start walking towards this card here. And as you do, and you start getting things done, it makes you feel a lot more secure, which allows you then to really totally engage in what you're doing, whether that's a career path or a business, whatever it is. By the end of October, you're really getting into flow. And it's getting into your heart's desires as well, and making you really passionate about what you're doing, basically. Really engaged in what you're doing. So, yes, let's just do a bit of clarification with the Light Seers card. But before we do, we're running a competition at the moment. Here's a few details on the competition and how you can enter and etc. So, competition time. You will be able to win a half-an-hour reading with myself. There's one available per week. And in order to enter into the competition, it's very simple. You need to be subscribed, obviously. But at the same time, we're asking you to comment on the premiere of particular signs over the next 4 weeks. It's very simple. We're keeping it into elements. So we've got earth, water, fire and air, obviously. We start off with the first week, which goes into earth. So what we're doing is asking people to comment the moment it goes out on premiere, starting with the earth signs. And as I say, going through the other elements as we go along. There is on this side here, there is a list of the weeks that are for each particular sign. So if you just leave a message saying competition, we will answer that, so it be acknowledged that you've made that comment. I will be live during these videos for live chat, as it were. So I will recognise the comments that you have made, and we will then contact the winner, who will be taken like a lottery out of everybody, and contacting the person for a half-an-hour reading. And as I say, there's one available per week, so that's 4 in a month, half-an-hour readings. So, yes, you will be informed. I will keep it informed regularly over here during the readings over the next week, a week and a half, so then you can get involved in the competition as well. It would help us out enormously, because it will help the other signs to grow as well. And because the algorithm in YouTube is not really helping us. I don't know why. You'd have to ask YouTube. I don't really know why, but you'd have to ask YouTube. So it doesn't really help out. So this is where we need the Astroflower family to help us out. It would really do us a favor to try and get the other signs rolling on, as it were. Okay, in the meantime, let's get on with your reading. So there you go. It'd be great to have you on that competition for that free reading. I got one free reading a week. This week it's on that Thursday for the Earth sign monthly readings. So for your side. So you may well be the lucky one. Let's just get on, see what's going on. Nine of Pentacles. With the Nine of Pentacles, you get the Ten of Cups. Happiness after difficulty. I think the difficulty is that planning or getting things into position and then going ahead and doing it. I think that is the difficult part for you there, Virgo. But once you do, you're going to be seeing the reality for what it is. And I think the overall energy will bring you in permanent happiness within your life. As I said, it's a multitude of joys that comes into your life in order to create that state of well-being and happiness. Let's just see what's going on with that Nine of Cups, shall we? You get the Eight of Cups. There's definitely a change here. That beautiful kingfisher that keeps flying by. You may see it flying by behind me in a minute. It just went down that way. It's going to come back this way. This is it. Be the kingfisher. Yes, walking away from past stuff and walking towards that, basically the abundance of happiness within your life. And I think that takes planning, that takes organisation, and I think there's a certain degree of curiosity within this card here. Curious about what is in front of you, what is possible around you, and that does need planning, which you're very good at, Virgo, when you put your mind to it, you know. And in your relationships, it's basically understanding what you are passionate about. Okay, so for the Four of Cups here, this is a bit of a routine, and I think this is what you're planning to get out of a routine, getting out of a rut in regards to your relationships. It's also a case of where these three cups here have very served itself, and now you're galvanizing, or you're sort of distilling those three cups into that one cup, which is just there, which is full of happiness, basically. And I think you're planning your future here by streamlining a lot of things in your life around you. That's what you should be doing in that week here, in order to get the best out of life, basically. Let's just see what's going on with the Eight of Wands. You get the Five of Swords. Once you've done the planning and organise your passions, and you start walking towards it, walking towards your passions in life, that's when you're going to start walking away from the conflicts that just doesn't really, it's no point winning. There's no point, there's no kudos to get out of this. And I think it's just a case of communicating with the world, with the new you that's coming to the fore. And that's going to alleviate a lot of confusion and a lot of doubt within your life as well, in regards to everybody that is around you, basically. With the Nine of Wands, you got the Three of Pentacles that want to jump out there. With the Knight of Wands, let's just see what's going on there. Yeah, the King of Wands. I think once you get into this communication and you've done this planning, all of a sudden you start stepping into your power in regards to the relationships that are around you. As I said, I've had COVID or a massive flu over the past sort of 10 days, and it is, it's been very interesting. Yeah, so in the third week here is majorly standing in your power. And I think this power also comes from this social aspect of life where you're engaging with people that are around you, that's going to bring to you the sensation of, yes, this is it. This is where you're taking that 1-1 there and you're going off on that journey. And you're really exploring it. Exploring that 9 of Cups, basically, all the different sort of possibilities that are around you. Sorry about that, just had to have a quick cup of tea there. There's a bit of a tingle in the throat. Let's see what's going on with this tower moment. I'm wondering what that is all about. I think it comes in from the outside world, in the general vibration around us. A call of mission, yes. Once you're standing in your power, this ultimately will then bring you to a place where I just don't think you're going to put up with crap from the outside world, basically. And this is where you can head off on your mission, because it frees you up, I think, this tower moment. I think it's a stark realization for you by the end of the month in regards to your relationships. And I think it could be realizing, as you're trying to install your pleasures in your life, I think you're realizing what relationships are holding you back, and what relationships are really worth investing in. And I think that's what that is all about. Walking away from an old sort of situation to a new situation, which is a much more sort of vibrant for you more than anything else. It's a real transitional month, there is no doubt about it. On the 9 of Wands, you get the King of Cups. Again, on that side there. I think this is part and parcel of when you do, this is your karmic mission for your finances, your job, your business, your projects. Once you start walking down that road and those healthy boundaries come into place, then you've got to realize or recognize that sensation of being at one with yourself and in power with yourself. And recognizing that will ultimately put you in a position where you can choose what you want to invest in and what direction you want to go in. You will be the master of your creation, basically. Yeah, with the nine of Pentacles, you get the Knight of Pentacles. Time to activate, time to get on to work, time to start generating that abundance for you. Actually start implementing what you want to be doing. And that could be down to the career path of a business or whatever it is. But now is the time of starting planting those beautiful seeds, so you eventually get to that. That's what the idea is here. And I think this is where in the second week, you're going to start realizing that you're walking away from the old you to the new you, with that eight of cups. It's a whole new paradigm opening up for you, and it's that intuition that is within you, trusting your inner vision. I think here is a bit of a leap of faith, actually. It's a bit of a case where you know you've got to go ahead and do it, and you're not going to know how it's going to turn out perfectly, but yes, you can use your inner vision to get the best example of the situation that is around you. And it is stepping forward into your new being. It's stepping forward towards that ace, stepping forward towards that passion within your life that starts instigating within your business and your job and your prospects. With the King of Cups, you get the Hierophant. This is where what you're going to understand in the third week is this ideal that in order to get to that place of plain sailing where everything is really cool and running perfectly, that you now know these steps you need to take in order to get towards your dream and your aspirations. And I think it's a case of applying them and trusting in them as well. And as you apply them in your life, this is where it's going to open up this beautiful, passionate opportunity that comes in at the end of the month here for you. And it's a judgment call. Yeah, it's an ascension moment for you. Between those two there, look at that. You are being called to your mission. That's a little bit out with the old and in with the new, and it's like a passionate path, financial passionate path that you are opening up here. And it's now, by the end of the month, it's time to step into that path and really own it. Interesting month, October. Very interesting month. A lot of work to be done under the surface. I think you're perfectly positioned to do this, Virgo. And it will make a massive transition within your world, but within the world that is around you. That tower moment there at the end of the month in regards to your relationships, I think is a calling to a relationship that corresponds to you, that makes you feel really good about it. And ultimately, that's where you're heading. Happiness and abundance, basically. So there you go, Virgo. Thank you very much for being here with us. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget about the competition. There's loads of links in the description below. There's also a link to our sister channel called Cymatic TV, which is everything about energy. I will see you over there. Don't forget to subscribe and all of those sort of things. It's absolutely lovely. In the meantime, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.